Rule Britannia, Britannia rules the waves. These words were written not by an Englishman, but by a Scot, James Thomson. Scots helped forge modern Britain. They fought in British wars, built a British empire, and pledged allegiance to a British monarch. But in September, Scots could vote to end this 300-year-old union, threatening the dual identity of those who feel both Scottish and British.
We are all British. We have British values and we have British standards, and we should be proud of them.
What does being British mean to you?
Being British means being part of the United Kingdom. It means a long history and heritage. Look around the world and see how people emulate what we've done in Britain, and I think we've much to be proud of.
The Black Watch was one of the most revered regiments of the British Army, fighting in conflicts from the War of Austrian Succession to wars in Iraq and Afghanistan. It remains a powerful symbol of Scotland's contribution to the Union. I met Major Ronnie Proctor at the Black Watch Museum in Perth.
Well, I think soldiers of my generation, we grew up whose fathers and grandfathers who'd both fought in the Great War and in World War II. So there was a great military tradition alive at that time, and we felt that we were fighting or doing our duty for the United Kingdom, but also for Scotland.
Reason is the slave to the passions, wrote the Scottish philosopher David Hume. But Better Together, the campaign to keep the Union, has been criticised for prioritising pragmatic over emotional arguments.
I think the things that we will be stressing to them are first the economic benefits of staying in the UK versus the economic uncertainty of independence. That's true in relation to trade, it's true in relation to the currency, it's true in relation to jobs, and it's true even in relation to fiscal issues, taxing and spending. But we'll also be saying that the Union isn't solely about pounds and pence, it's also about sticking together, particularly in relation to ensuring that there's a common standard across the UK for services like old age pensions and benefits. That is what I would call a social union as well as an economic union.
The case made by the Better Together campaign, that Scotland would be worse off going it alone, is proving persuasive according to opinion polls. Monty Pearson is a coal merchant operating on both sides of the border. Independence could have serious consequences for his business.
Coming from the borders, we deal with customers and tradespeople and our friends. So both sides, we're only 10 miles from the border here, and as I say, we deal with people daily on both a friendly basis as well as trading with them. Not sure how anybody can vote yes when there's so many unknowns.
The Borders region is where the practicalities of independence could be most acute.
I think independence would be a burden in many respects because it would increase barriers to do trade, to access public services. The Borders is a distinct area and it has been for generations, and I think even the hometown where I'm from, it changed hands 13 times between England and Scotland. So we have a healthy scepticism of both power in Edinburgh or in London. The United Kingdom is a unique creature in the world. There is no union like this. And that's something that we should be proud because actually we've helped forge.
Coldstream Bridge spans the River Tweed on the border between Scotland and England. For centuries, people have crossed this bridge to visit friends, to visit family and to trade. Most Scots still say they feel both Scottish and British. This dual sentiment may inspire less enthusiasm than the nationalist cause, but it reflects the complexity of Scots' identity. A vote for independence could therefore come as a loud shock for this quiet majority. John McDermott, Financial Times, Coldstream.